Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Narayana Namaskritya Naram Chet Narottamam Devim Saraswatim Vyasam Tato Jayamudiriye Nashtaprayeshu Bhadreshu Nityam Bhagavata Sevayam Bhagavati Uttam Shloke Bhaktir Bhavati Naistiki. So continuing with the discussion on Srimad Bhagavatam, Canto 4, Chapter 4, Sati quits her body, text number 10 onwards. Jagarha Samarsha Vipannaya Gira Shivatvisham Dhuma Pathashramasmayam Swatejasa Bhutaganan Samutithana Nigriya Devi Jagatu Abhishanvataha. The followers of Lord Shiva, the ghosts, were ready to injure or kill Daksha, but Sati stopped them by her order. She was very angry and sorrowful, and in that mood she began to condemn the process of sacrificial, fruitive activities and persons who were very proud of such unnecessary and troublesome sacrifices. She especially condemned her father, speaking against him in the presence of all. So when Sati, previous verse, we said Sati was like looking at Daksha and ready to burn him with her vision. So the followers of Lord Shiva, ghosts, they saw Sati being so angry and they were ready to act. But Sati stopped them. And she was very angry and sorrowful. And in that mood, she began to condemn the process of the sacrifice. The process of offering sacrifices is especially meant to satisfy Vishnu, who's called Yagesha, because he is an enjoyer of the fruits of all sacrifice. Bhagavad Gita confirms this fact. The Lord says, Bhoktaram Yagyatapsam. He is the actual beneficiary of all sacrifices. Not knowing this fact, less intelligent men offer sacrifices for some material benefit. To derive personal material benefits for sense gratification is the reason persons like Daksha and his followers perform sacrifices. Such sacrifices are condemned here as labor of love without actual profit. This is confirmed in Srimad Bhagavatam. One may prosecute the Vedic injunctions of offering sacrifices and other fruitive activities. But if by such activities one does not develop attraction for Vishnu, they are useless labors. One who has developed love for Vishnu must develop love and respect for Vishnu's devotees. Lord Shiva is considered the foremost personality amongst the Vaishnavas. Vaishnavanam Yathashambhu. Thus, when Sati saw that her father was performing great sacrifices, but had no respect for the greatest devotee, Lord Shiva, she was very angry. This is fitting. When Vishnu or a Vaishnava is insulted, one should be angry. Lord Chaitanya, who always preached non-violence, meekness and humility, also became angry when Nityanand Prabhu was offended by Jagai and Madhai and he wanted to kill them. When Vishnu or a Vaishnava is blasphemed or dishonored, one should be very angry. Narottam Das Thakur said, Krodha Bhakta Dveshi Jane. We have anger, and that anger can be a great quality when directed against a person who is envious of the Supreme Personality of Godhead or his devotee. One should not be tolerant when a person is offensive towards Vishnu or a Vaishnava. The anger of Sati towards her father was not objectionable, for although he was her father, he was trying to insult the greatest Vaishnava. Thus Sati's anger against her father was quite applaudable. So she was very angry and she was talking about this sacrifice. What you performing sacrifice? Sacrifice is supposed to satisfy Vishnu, and Vishnu means, and if you don't satisfy Vishnu's devotees, Vaishnavas, what kind of sacrifice you're performing? It's only a ritual then. And then Prabhupada says one should get angry with somebody who insults Vishnu or Vaishnava. Now, there's It's a fine line here to be understood. Sati or Lord Shiva's followers, they are quite capable people of getting angry and displaying their anger, and afterwards we'll read uh, how much havoc they created in the sacrificial arena. But obviously we cannot do that. And in Kali Yuga, we'll find 9 out of 10 people who are blaspheming Vishnu or Vaishnavas. So we cannot start getting angry with everybody. It's yes, I mean inside we should be angry, but outside we have to see how much you can display. So best is to either defeat these kind of people with proper logical argument or just leave that place. Best is just leave that place if we can defeat anybody. Because these kind of people are there everywhere in Kali Yuga, everywhere, and from every um, status of the society, they are there. Text 11. Devyo uvacha na yasya loke astyati shayanah priyas tatha priyo dehe britam priyatmana tasmin samastatmani mukta vairake rite bhavantam katamaha pratipayeta. The blessed goddess said, Lord Shiva is the most beloved of all living entities. He has no rival, no one is very dear to him, and no one is his enemy. No one but you could be envious of such a universal being who is free from all enmity. And it is true, Lord Shiva is the most beloved of all living entities. All living entities. People might say different things about Lord Krishna, or some people might not like him for different reasons. But Lord Shiva, everybody loves Lord Shiva, especially those people who really want material benefits. They really worship Lord Shiva. They love him. Even Vaishnavas love him. Even Mayavadis love him. Even ghosts and goblins, they also love him. So everybody loves Lord Shiva. In Bhagavad Gita, the Lord says, Samoham Sarva Bhuteshu. I am equal to all living entities. Similarly, Lord Shiva is a qualitative incarnation of the Supreme Personality of Godhead. So he has almost the same qualities as the Supreme Lord. Therefore, he is equal to everyone. No one is his enemy, and no one is his friend. But one who is envious by nature can become the enemy of Lord Shiva. Therefore, Sati accused her father, no one but you could be envious of Lord Shiva or be his enemy. Other sages and learned Brahmins were present, but they were not envious of Lord Shiva, although they were all dependent on Daksha. Therefore, no one but Daksha could be envious of Lord Shiva. That was the accusation of Sati. And here, Prabhupada writes, Lord Shiva is a qualitative incarnation, so he has almost the same qualities. So as we have studied, he has 55 qualities. 64 Krishna has, 60 Vishnu has, and Lord Shiva has 55. So almost the same qualities. And Lord Shiva, being the greatest Vaishnava and being a greatest devotee of the Lord, even Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, when he went to his South India Yatra from Jagannath Puri, he came to a place where Lord Shiva was worshipped. There were many temples of Lord Shiva. I'm forgetting the place. And Mahaprabhu just performed kirtan in his temple and danced and chanted for many, many hours, seeing Lord Shiva over there. And in fact, in South India, probably it's called Rishab Hill, near, if I'm not wrong, it's near Madurai. Lord Shiva and Parvati, they were residing as a Brahman and Brahmani and Chaitanya, and they served Chaitanya Mahaprabhu for many days over there. So there's intimate relationship between Lord Shiva and Krishna or Vishnu. It's just people don't understand the position of Lord Shiva. And here Daksha was quite envious of Lord Shiva. Doshan paresham hi guneshu sadho rinanti kechinna bhavantrisho dvija gunascha falgun bahuli karishnam mahattamas tamasteshva vid vidad bhavanagam. Twice born Daksha, a man like you can simply find faults in the qualities of others. Lord Shiva, however, not only finds no faults with others' qualities, but if someone has a little good quality, he magnifies it greatly. Unfortunately, you have found fault with such a great soul. King Daksha is addressed here by his daughter Sati as Dvija, twice born. Twice born refers to the higher classes of men, namely the Brahmins, Kshatriyas, and Vaishyas. In other words, a Dvija is not an ordinary man, but one who has studied the Vedic literature from a spiritual master and can discriminate between good and bad. Therefore, it is supposed that he understands logic and philosophy. Sati, Daksha's daughter, put before him sound arguments. There are some highly qualified persons who accept only the good qualities of others. Just as a bee is always interested in the honey in the flower and does not consider the thorns and colors, highly qualified persons who are uncommon accept only the good qualities of others, not considering their bad qualities, whereas the common man can judge what are good qualities and what are bad qualities. So highly qualified persons like Lord Shiva, and Sati is saying that in the verse, he only accepts the good qualities of others. Everybody has good and bad qualities. Some might have more good qualities and very little bad qualities. Some could be the other way around. But Lord Shiva is so pure and so compassionate at heart that he only considers the good qualities in others and he fans them and he magnifies it greatly. So even he finds good qualities in the ghosts, those who don't have a gross body. And one does not become ghost by doing some pious activity. So he even finds good qualities in them and gives them his association. Among the uncommonly good souls, there are still gradations, and the best good soul is one who accepts an insignificant asset of a person and magnifies that good quality. Lord Shiva is also called Ashutosh, which refers to one who is satisfied very easily and who offers to any person the highest level of benediction. For example, once a devotee of Lord Shiva wanted the benediction that whenever he touched someone on the head, that person's head would at once be separated from his trunk. So that was Bhasmasura. Lord Shiva agreed. Although the benediction asked was not very commendable because the devotee wanted to kill his enemy, Lord Shiva considered the devotee's good quality in worshipping and satisfying him and granted the benediction. Thus, Lord Shiva accepted his bad qualities as magnificently good qualities. So Lord Shiva, although he knew this Asura is crazy and whatever he's asking is more crazy, but still he thought he has worshipped me and he has done so much of tapasya, so I'll give him this benediction. But Sati accused her father. He was just the opposite. Although Lord Shiva has so many good qualities and no bad qualities at all, you have accepted him as bad and found fault with him. Because of your accepting his good qualities to be bad, instead of your becoming the most exalted soul, you have become the most fallen. A man becomes the greatest soul by accepting the goodness of others' qualities. But by unnecessarily considering others' good qualities to be bad, you have become the lowest of the fallen souls. So see, Prabhupada said, a man becomes the greatest soul by accepting the goodness of others' qualities. And Prabhupada himself, we can't even imagine the kind of people and kind of followers he had in the beginning. Drug addicts, they were stealing money, stealing things from him. And although they was doing plenty of service later on, but in the beginning, they didn't have any good quality. Once in the 26th Second Avenue, the storefront, which was called Matchless Gifts, Prabhupada was giving lecture on Bhagavad Gita, a small congregation, small group of people, maybe 5, 6 people, but it was a small storefront. And then one drunkard came in, and that place outside, there were all drunkards and drug addicts. And he came in, and he was just falling everywhere, all over the devotees and all over the place. And he just came in, and Prabhupada just stopped his lecture and he was looking at him. What is this man doing? Prabhupada didn't tell his devotees to get up and kick him out. Prabhupada just kept on looking. And he just stumbled across, and then he went to the toilet. And actually he had brought a couple of rolls of toilet paper. And he left those rolls in the toilet paper. And then he said, okay, Swamiji, here are some toilet rolls, or whatever he said. And then he left. So Prabhupada was very pleased by this service of it. Of course, it was a kind of botheration in the class. They had to stop the class. But the person came and did some service, and Prabhupada was very pleased. And he left. He just left and never came back again. And we can't even imagine if Prabhupada was pleased with him, what he would be in the next life. That's the power of a pure devotee. So many examples. People did just little service to Prabhupada, and Prabhupada just looked at the service attitude and the service they did. Oh, this is wonderful service he did. He wouldn't even consider all the bad qualities of those people. There are devotees like during Prabhupada's time, Prabhupada had given sannyas diksha to many devotees. Of course, Prabhupada's mission was to preach far and wide. And he knew many of his disciples were not qualified to be a sannyasi. So one sannyasi, from his ashram, he fell down and he got married to a lady. And obviously temple authorities, they asked him to leave the temple and be happy in his devotional life. So Prabhupada was at some place, I'm forgetting the name of the city, probably in Mexico. And that devotee came to see Prabhupada. Of course, he had grudges against the temple authorities because they didn't deal with it properly. But when Prabhupada was there, he naturally had affection for Prabhupada. So he came to see Prabhupada in his Grist ashram clothes. So Prabhupada welcomed him, and then Prabhupada asked him, okay, whatever you're doing is fine. Just preach, chant and preach. And he left very satisfied, very happily, left for his house. And then because somehow we still had this kind of mentality. The temple devotees, they say, oh, Prabhupada, he fell down and this and that. Prabhupada said he did wonderful service for Krishna. I could not disown him. I could not kick him out. I need all the help I can get to make the movement grow. Similarly, there are hundreds of examples how Prabhupada tolerated and how he just looked at the good qualities of a devotee, of a person, and he fanned the spark of that good quality and make it a full-fledged fire. That's why Prabhupada's followers, they stuck with him. They just don't want to leave him. They might have different experiences with other devotees or the administration, but with Prabhupada, nothing against Srila Prabhupada. So far, I haven't heard anybody saying anything against Srila Prabhupada. I met many Prabhupada disciples within ISKCON, outside ISKCON, both, but I have never heard. But this was the beauty of Prabhupada. This was what Prabhupada himself is writing. A man becomes a greater soul by accepting the goodness of others' qualities. In the material world, everybody is looking at our bad qualities and trying to put us down. Everybody is doing that. In fact, if you, or whenever you go to any gathering, social gathering, in fact, not just social gathering, even the spiritual gathering, all we hear, if you go to office parties, luncheons, or even in the spiritual gatherings now, a temple program, all we hear is how good I am, how smart I am, how best I am, and how stupid the other persons are. How I won this argument, or how I made a fool of somebody else, or how I made money by doing this, whatever. This is the material consciousness, material mentality. Everybody is trying to prove how good he is and how bad the others are. Because this gives some kind of satisfaction to the heart. Instead of looking at the good qualities of everybody, and there are good qualities in everybody. If we look closely, if we look objectively, there are good qualities in not just every single person, every living entity, there are good qualities. But for that, we have to have that pure, simple heart, like Prabhupada or like Lord Shiva. Then we can recognize the good qualities in others. Or like Lord Vishnu, he always looks at good qualities of others. Of course, when he has to punish the demons, that's a different story. But his punishing the demons is also basically uplifting them. So this quality we have to adopt. And in fact, when we look at others' good qualities, and even if we are not that good in expressing ourselves, if we still try to magnify the other person's good qualities, he or she will reciprocate positively. It's for sure. Maybe some people will try to take advantage. That's always there. But generally, people respond to this good behavior with good behavior. But that appreciation has to be genuine, not that I want to get something out of this person. That's why I magnify his good qualities or so-called good qualities, which are not there, but I'm still trying to magnify because of my political bent of mind. So that doesn't last too long. If we genuinely try to appreciate the good qualities in others, chances are he will respond positively and properly. So again, some things, these are things that we have to cultivate in ourselves. These are the qualities we have to cultivate in ourselves. So, hmm, so I guess I'll stop here. See anybody has any questions or comments. Okay, so we'll stop here. You all have a safe and wonderful day. Hare Krishna. Jai Shri.
Hare Krishna, Jai Srila Prabhupada.